Good morning, folks. Welcome back to another edition here of iMove. This is the start of a new week for us. A full body, deep tissue strength. We're going to use our muscles. We're going to place a demand on our joints, ligaments, tendons, all that kind of stuff. We're going to, add weight. We're going to load bear. So we're going to create some density, requirement for the bones. We want to keep them strong too. And we're going to have some determination mind-wise, because we have 2 minutes per move, but it works like this. You get 12 moves to pre-exhaust the muscle. So 12 reps, okay? Then you're going to take just a brief 10-15 second rest, and then you're going to go back for 20 reps. And you want to try and complete that sort of before the 2 minutes is over, because whatever comes first, you move to the next. Like let's say that the time runs out and I'm only on move 18. Well, at move 18, I'm going to be done. Then I'm moving into move number 2, or rep 18 rather, then I'll move into number 2. But let's say I get rep 20 done in that first move and I still got 20 seconds left. In the 2 minutes, I get that. That's my time. All right? So I'm not sure how this is going to work. I think we're going to be pushing that 2-minute time limit on almost every move. So there won't be a ton of rest. Take it as you need it, but I'm not going to say punishing us for missing yesterday, but I'm trying to make up a little bit for missing yesterday. So I'm going to go pretty, like I say, pretty intense today. So we have 12 moves, and each one again is 2 minutes. So that'll be a 24-minute part of our 30-minute practice. We're going to take a minute to transition, because I don't really have too many core moves in there. I don't think I have any, but I'm not forgetting the core. So we've got 5 minutes to finish the practice, core moves, all right? And that'll bring us to 30 minutes.
So, for example, the ring push-up wouldn't be core?
Well, again, folks, there's almost no way that you can't do movements without all muscles being involved, or most of them, at some point in the movement. But I like to target certain muscles, and so we're not guessing if the core is involved in the push-up. When I start doing core moves, the core is involved in the core movement, right? And there's going to be no doubt about it, because likely we're not going to get through these without having to rest a little bit and then get back into them, because the core is going to go at it. But for me, in the push-up, my core is not the first thing that quits. Even though it's engaged, it's much like a plank, you know what I mean? But my upper body arms are going to quit first, right? So you're going to know it's a chest, tricep movement, and then, of course, the core has to be there or you can't make that move. But I don't really have very much in there, even beyond that you would say the core is really involved in it, right? I do have the deadlift, which is a lower back, which I call core. That specific move it's our move number 3, all right? So I'm covering the lower back core in the first 12 moves, but the last 5 minutes are not going to be the lower back. They're going to be here to here, top, bottom, side, okay? Cross body, we're going to do that stuff. All right, so that'll cover the whole practice today, and then I'll get Missy's report card at the end, and I'm always curious to know what she's felt, how the practice has affected her, and understand we're going after our deep tissue strength today, okay? So we want a deep feeling in this, and I suspect we're going to get it.
We're going to taste the flavor of these moves.
Okay, Missy, what time is it?
Time to move.
Time to move. Missy, first 12. Here we go. We're going to pre-exhaust ourselves. There we go. All right, now I get 15 seconds. They're out of the way. Now I start to count, all right? The next 20 are the ones we're trying to get in. Okay, guys? You ready? Here Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's deep tissue. 19, 20. Oh, okay. Oh, I got 20. How much time do I got left? Oh, that's 30 seconds. All right. So those are mine. I'm just going to change my top here.
Woo! All right.
So make these
Now
hard
we're
enough that you know you're in a really good practice by the time that 20th rep is counted. Okay, miss, so what's number 2 move?
Ring push-up.
Uh-oh. Ooh, that's a cold shirt, miss. Okay, there we go. I'm just a little behind there. That's okay. Here we go. So these first 12 should not be easy. All right, they should be hard enough to keep, you knowing that you're going to have a tough go in that 20. They should pre-exhaust more. 7. 15 seconds, and I'm going after those 20 now. All right, 3, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, I need a rest.
Oh man, I can barely get him up now. Okay, that's it. I only got to 17. All right, so I got to move right to the next one.
I got to 16.
That's my deadlift. Okay. All right, here we go. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Here's my 20. Perfect timing. All right, back to pike press. So I need these guys here. Here we go. Uh-oh, what happened here, miss? Lost a few, so I'm not going to take a rest, I guess. I lost a few seconds there. Oh, for God's sake.
You caught up to me. And I started on time.
All right, start my 20. 2, 3.
Oh boy.
Okay, what's next? After that, like press, ring, chin up, leg assist. All right, here we go. I can do it. I can get these. All right, just a few seconds. Okay.
Whoa. It's no easier the second time round.
Harder.
I can barely do it.
Me too.
Oh. The flavor of exhaustion. Oof. I just stopped counting and kept trying.
All right. Goblet squat, miss. Here we go. Oh, I gotta take a few seconds. All right, here we go. 2, 3, Ah. 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 All right, wing out. Here we go, 3-way. 2, 3.
Oh, 20. I find that my neck gets so tight in that one.
Ring curl. Here we go. 2, 3. All right, let's take a little rest. All right. Now I start to count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my goodness. Determination. All right, there's that guy. What's next, miss?
Ring curl ham.
Hamstring, all right. Let's get down into that. 2.
Did the buzzer? There it goes.
There it goes. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. And you can do them one leg at a time or 2 together. If you do them one leg at a time, it's 2 to make 1. Oh my goodness, I gotta take a second here. Alright, I don't think I need these anymore. This practice. Right? Right.
You did 20?
I did.
Oh God.
Alright, next one is the ring dip leg assist. Coming at you. A little bit of a triceps. Chest move.
Woo!
Had a girl. Okay, coming up in a couple of seconds. Here we go. Leg assisted dip, but only that much that you have to. Switching legs. All right, switching it up. Here we go. Just want to get the same.
Slat board.
All right, now we're going to do the last one, right? All right, here we go.
We're just doing this. We're not doing 12 and then.
I just did 12.
Oh, okay. Now I'm on the 20.
But I'm looking at leg assist or arm assist, right? This is a load.
calf is burning.
Oh man, that's that one. But we're gonna go a little overtime here because we're doing them one at a time.
Oh, I did it in half. I'm on 10 of the 20. Okay.
Okay, a few more seconds, and then I'm gonna go back out the last 20. Just gotta tighten my shoelace up. All right, 20 more. Coming up. Just take a few seconds. Oh, I can barely walk. And that calf. That's it. That's 20. Holy Lord, love a duck.
Okay.
Lord, love a duck, folks. All right, I'm going to set the timer now. We get a little bit of time here. Get a minute, right?
All right. Oh, I feel my calves burning.
Oh, me too. Wow. Folks, we're going to just straight leg, hips up, shoot the moon. As best as we can. For a minute. And there's no speed record in this. That's okay. I'm not looking for 1,000,000 reps, but I'm looking for some good reps. Just want to get them hips up towards the moon. Shoot the moon, baby. Missy, shoot the moon, baby.
Shot.
Are you shooting it? Okay, 30 more seconds. Here we go. And then we're going over the twisting piston for 30 seconds. And then a V-sit with big circles. Feet 10 up. Then we get a rest. All right, twisting piston, here we go. All right, V-sit, big circles. Both in and out. Oh. Rest if you need to. And then come back into it. 30-second rest.
Oh.
All right. Cross-body butterfly for a minute. And then V-sit, body rock and row. And then hippie dip. Both those last two are for 30 seconds. All right. So we're going to go cross-body butterfly here. Oh, that's not even 30 seconds yet. All right, V-sit, row. Two, two, woo, two, 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 two.
Oh, we get our feet on the ground.
Oh, I'm trying to
That's
keep them up, but I just didn't want to stop because I couldn't keep them up. All right, hippie dip. Here we go, both sides. I tried keeping them up, miss.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't there.
Wasn't there, totally.
Now there's no doubt your core is engaged.
All right. That's it, right?
That's it, honey. Because now we get a 30-second rest. Nice practice there, my dear. All right, I'm going to just turn it.
I was describing the butterfly, and it was very demanding, and how I was using the notion of flavor, the flavor of what was happening, and how the flavor is constantly changing and shifting when you're moving. So when I was down, I didn't need to use that part of the core that needed to push me up. So I enjoyed lowering myself down and then quickly shifted. And I had that thought that to be the most efficient means you want to be the quickest at the transition from, for example, in that one, moving up and moving down. The faster you get from to this, getting yourself right into the move, the more you emphasize each of those muscles responsible for lowering yourself down with control and then moving yourself up to your highest possibility. So I always touched my foot in the butterfly.
Nice.
And that was my goal. Sometimes I didn't touch it quite as easily, but I pretty much did. And but then, like same with the straight leg, shoot the moon. By the end of the minute, it was really starting to feel demanding and difficult, and I was including the sides. So, but then we went into the twisting piston, and somehow I wasn't in my mind remembering that it was on the front of our body, like facing the ground. So I lost some time there. But once I got into it, I enjoyed feeling light in lifting my legs, getting a nice little hop there, and but the V-sit arms and leg circle, that was like, totally defied me. I rested quite a bit, and I didn't get much out of it because the muscles that I needed to use at that point were exhausted. I just couldn't find it. So I think it was definitely easier second round, except for because somehow I think I understood that format, the 1 minute, then the 30 seconds, and that V-sit body rock and roll, that was kind of similar to the leg circling.
It was hard.
It was really hard.
Yeah.
So, and I think part of that is the muscles that are required to do that, to accomplish that, have already been so exhausted, so pre-exhausted, that there's not much left. And that's what happened with those core moves.
Yeah, for sure. Just to skip right to the core moves, that V-sit arms and leg circle, by the time you got into that, you're starting you've already done a minute and a half. So you're starting into that next 30 seconds, which would take you to 2 minutes of steady steady hammering away at the core, oh boy, that was a load. Really, it didn't seem like that much doing it on its own, right? But when you got in that position in the 2 minutes before the rest, it was a load. And then the rest was really welcomed. And that crossbody, I mean, the next three didn't get any easier for me. Crossbody butterfly, a lot of resting in there in terms of flat out on my back, arms down, feet down, and then come across, and then take that rest, and then come across. But it's what I had, right? So I was resting just enough until I could get that next move and complete it. The V-sit, I tried to keep my feet up and do my row. When Missy caught me there, my feet were down, but they just weren't staying up.
And I said, oh, thank goodness we don't need to keep our feet up. Because I had never had even an ounce of energy for that part.
I just tried, but I got a few seconds and then they just drop. And I was focused on keeping that upper body row happening, right? And then the hippie dip rotate side to side. I got maybe 5 seconds into that and realized that if I'm going 30 seconds here, I'm going to have to go down to my knees because there was nothing left in my plank, right?
And that, for me, it's just so different. Like, our bodies are so different, right? Because I went through those 30 seconds of hippie dip and they kind of felt good. I was really enjoying that sort of twist in my core. I was enjoying the flavor of that move.
No, I mean, by the time I was done, we had, like I say, 4.5 minutes there. Basically 4 minutes of go on our core with a 30-second rest in the middle. There was no doubt where my core was in my body, for sure, right? But going back to the upper part, the upper 12 moves, each move had its, like Missy says, its own flavor, its own distinct flavor. And I tried not to overlap them when I was building the practice so that each got its flavor, right? Because I think that was important. If it wasn't a practice where I was, like you've seen us do in the past, supersets, where we take a small group of muscles and we work them, and then we just move right to the next move, which works a very similar muscle group. And sometimes we'll tri-set, not just superset, but we'll triple set, where we'll move to the third move and we'll just sort of get busy with those same muscle groups. Well, I didn't really do that today. I figured it was going to be enough to get all those reps in 2 minutes, and I didn't want to complicate things by exhausting every muscle before it got, and it was right away used in the next group and then in the next group. So to give us the best chance to get the flavor of the move and to keep our reps somewhere near what we were seeking before that 2 minutes ran out. So I think if I was to do it again, I'd likely go to 2.5 minutes per move, and we would find some time in there for a little rest. You know what I mean? But I didn't really want to go to 35 or 36 minutes in the practice today, although we could have. I was trying to keep it within the 30-minute framework that we that's normally what we try and do, right? So, but get the most out of that 30 minutes, and I would say we did. I would say if you looked at the amount of movement and time under attention that we did, that most of that practice, I mean, out of that 30 minutes, there was very few seconds that weren't time under tension, right? And that's where the determination came in, folks, was going, okay, man, let's just keep this thing going. What's next? What's next? Let's keep it going. What's next? So I would say in terms of getting the most out of a 30-minute practice, it'd be hard-pressed to do better than what we did here, right? So pats on the back, and it sets us up for tomorrow's play day. And Missy gets to be unappointed tomorrow, and I get to move straight into what else it is that I want to do. So that's kind of nice when you're in a construction process, right? You kind of get a little bit of time to get busy with that too, because we can't, this is foundational. So this sort of takes precedence and priority, our iMove program. And then from there, we move on through the rest of our day. So really well worth coming in here this morning. So now Missy's going to close us off with her sunshine words on flavor.
As you were speaking, Michael, I was observing how, yes, this practice, there was just no respite whatsoever, hardly at all, until we got into the core. Because the moment you were finished, you were meant to go on to the next one. And while you were describing how you would plan it for the future, I found that I need at least to be able to move between one move and another. Like even if I had 5 seconds, that would be nice.
Yeah.
You know? But to say that when Michael started to speak of that, it reminded me how the flavor of that 30 minutes was complete absorption in whatever it was. There was no opportunity for the conscious mind to wander. We hear in yoga philosophy, and maybe other philosophies as well, about the monkey mind that's going to be jumping around from one thing to another. But when I am in the eye move practice, perhaps earlier on, I did have a mind that jumped around. I don't know. I can't remember. But I could say that now, when I am in the eye move practice, my consciousness is completely connected to the moment that I'm in without any doubt. It's absolute. I am absolutely present with this flavor. And not to mention that the flavor, when you're in that mode, that flavor is constantly being revealed. Its tastes are being revealed, like eating a delicious, sumptuous delicacy. Every movement is a delicacy, really, when you tune into that flavor. Now, you will experience the flavor differently. So, for example, when you're punching Mr. Versi, the flavor is the fierce. The flavor is the force. That's the flavor. So you take on that flavor. And today it was the flavor, the deep tissue, to feel the joints. Like now I'm realizing I was even paying attention sometimes to my ankles, like when we were in the doing the goblet squats. So I would go through my whole body and feel what the flavor was of that move in each part, and how different stages of the movement will influence the part that's engaging. So that's what happens when our consciousness is completely absorbed without any dilution whatsoever. Then what we get is a really in-depth experience of whatever it is we're engaged in. And over time, it deepens and becomes more and more. And that's why when you talk about the practice, you know exactly which moves are affecting which muscles and where, and which moves to bring in to balance which muscles. It's like from years of tasting those flavors. And because we've had a really well-balanced diet in our eye move practice, it's giving us a really whole experience of the flavor of our body. All the different flavors that make up this meal of this particular practice. And when we eat, we want different flavors, different kinds of substances to feed us, to nourish us, different seasons, different needs, different time zones. So many things affect the way we experience the flavor of our life. And ultimately, this 30-minute practice where for the whole 30 minutes you are conscious of the flavor of your life is the practice. It is a rehearsal for every other minute of our life, that we can be conscious to taste the flavor of this life. And as we become more and more conscious, the flavors become much more defined, refined, delicious. And we know which tastes we want to go for and when. We know when we want to have like a good hearty shepherd's pie with or when we want to have like a nice light salad. You feel it, or a piece of fruit, or so our appetites shift. And as we move through the infinite avenues of life and experience, over time, we learn that we can choose the tastes that we want to go towards. And sometimes it takes giving up certain comfort foods that were always part of it. Like, it might be comfortable, yeah, to have a play day tomorrow and the next and the next and the next. But actually, no, not anymore, because when you've introduced that flavor of health, vitality, dynamism, and well-being into your consciousness, you want to embody it, and you want to live the meaning of your life, which is that conscious experience of this God-given possibility to know ourselves as divine beings in a physical universe. Swaha.
Okay, folks, that brings us to close another edition here of iMove. So, Creator willing,
Alvai.
we will see you here again next time for
Another one in the
Book.